Welcome agents, I recently did a video about PvP in the Division 2. It was actually my last video, and towards the end I talked about pre-made gear sets in PvP, instead of the current system we have in the Division, and this of course wouldn't apply to the Dark Zone. Now, I just want to stress this is a speculation video, it's nothing more than that, so please bear that in mind. Now, I didn't go into much detail because I really wanted to go over the idea in another video like this one, because I do think this is something that we could get in the Division 2, although of course it's not confirmed at this point. As always, if you enjoy this one, please drop a like below. If we can hit 225 likes on this one, that would be awesome. And if you're interested in some of my epic merch, click the link below to my Teespring store. With all of that said, let's get into this. Okay agents, so I came across this idea some time ago on a Ubisoft forum for the Division 2, and luckily I've been able to find it again. So all the credit goes to the poster, who goes by the name of DaGranMasta, which is a pretty awesome name, by the way. So in this post, DaGranMasta talks about both PvP mode changes along with pre-made gear sets, but it's the pre-made gear sets that I really want to delve into a little bit today. DaGranMasta, who I'm just going to call Sidekick, because he talks about a 50v50 Fortnite-style PvP mode in the Division 2, which is just a no-no, and I'm sure you will all agree with me here, so sorry, DaGranMasta, you are being relegated to Sidekick at this point. So Sidekick starts off by saying, first idea on pre-made gear sets is this. It should be all 6-piece gear sets that you can swap during death. Everything would be optimized, all sets would have 3 options, a primary, balance, and a balance plus. So first off, the idea of pre-made gear sets, at least in my opinion, is a very good idea, and I'll go on to explain why. I totally agree that you should be able to change the pre-made sets upon death, and maybe to avoid a set overpowering every other set like what we currently have in the Division or the metas that we've been getting. Apart from making sure they're all balanced, is to only allow 1 or 2 different pre-made sets per team per match. Probably just one, because I believe the PvP in the Division 2 is 4v4, aside from the Dark Zone of course. So I'm sure some of you don't like that idea, and I'm not 100% sure about it either, but it does stop some teams from having all of the same pre-made gear sets, and it adds a lot of diversity within the PvP. For example, take Black Ops 4, where you can only have 1 type of specialist per game. This works really well because it creates a more balanced PvP team-based experience, one where specialist or pre-made gear sets does not become the only one thing everyone runs. I can't imagine how bad PvP in Black Ops 4 would be if everyone ran Torque, for example. The point is, the pre-made sets would provide a sense of diversity and balance in PvP game modes within the Division 2. Now, I know this all rests on the devs actually making sure these gear sets or these pre-made gear sets are balanced. Sidekick goes on to talk about the 3 options you could choose from, i.e. primary, balance, and balance plus, but begins to talk about main stats like firearms, stamina, and skill power. Of course, this was posted way before the Division 2 was even announced, and now we know that these main stats are not returning in the Division 2. So I think the best way to approach this is exactly how Sidekick has, but with the 3 main options being like tank, balanced, and glass cannon, for example. Now, I don't know what they'd be called, but of course this is just an example. The 3 options are pretty self-explanatory. We'd have tank, which is sort of high health, low DPS, balance, medium health, medium damage, and then glass cannon, which is high damage and low health. With these 3 options, unlike the pre-made gear sets, or the 6 pre-made gear sets where you could only have 1 or 2 per team, you can choose to have 4 glass cannons on your team if you want, and whilst you will drop agents quickly, you will be very squishy. So you can only have 1 of the 6 pre-made gear sets, but you could choose to have 4 tanks on your team, if that makes sense. Now, there doesn't have to just be 3 options either. I'm just using 3 as an example. There could be 5, 7, or a lot more, of course. But I think you get my point here, though, and I think this would be a really good idea for the Division 2. So, with those 2 points in mind, if we combine them both, what we have is a PvP system where you can choose 1 pre-made set before the PvP match, and then choose whether or not to be a tank, balanced player, or a glass cannon agent, for example. Now, should you get downed, you can then choose to keep the current pre-made set or choose another, one that someone else is not using. You could also have the option to change from being a tank to a balance to a glass cannon agent, for example. It's likely there would need to be more than just 6 pre-made sets, and I'd probably say 8 as a minimum, giving every agent a vast range of pre-made sets to use. Now, I don't think the Division 2 PvP will be made in a way that could be considered a competitive PvP game like Overwatch, for example, but the pre-made gear sets would allow teams to create compositions that could be considered competitive PvP. Now, I know some of you might be heading to the comments on this one, and I understand that competitive PvP in the Division 2 is not really an option, at least from what I can tell. But if we could have a system which allowed for a much more competitive experience, as well as a casual one of course, then pre-made sets are surely the way to do it. Pre-made sets would appeal to both competitive and casual players. Competitive because of the compositions I spoke about before, and casual because anyone could choose a pre-made set and start playing PvP with the same balance as everyone else as soon as PvP becomes available after the campaign or before if you can play it before. And this is obviously a good thing. One of the main reasons why new people stop playing PvP in the Division is not just because of the broken gear sets, but because the entry was so high. It would take not only the campaign, but up to thousands of hours to complete gear sets that would be viable within PvP. This model completely removes that entry level and allows everyone to play the game, or play on the same field, which is exactly what I'd hope everyone wants from PvP, aside from the Dark Zone of course. The Dark Zone is a completely different beast. I'm not going to get into that in today's video. To finish this video off, I think we need to have a game of skirmish and admire the 1.8.3 gear set balancing that the devs have done so well on. Devs, don't let us agents down, alright? Alright agents, so we're joining this one late. We're getting spanked, which is always great. That's a bad throw. How are you not dead? Gotcha. Let's get this guy. Okay, we joined this one late, but we got a couple of kills. My shot is so bad right now, but we might join this one late. But we're about to put on a show here. Mate, you might want to move from there. That's why. Okay, we're in trouble here. Put this here. Okay, bit of pred. It's fine. Bit of pred again. I'm gonna go down from pred. Broken gear sets, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, balanced gear sets. I hope in this skirmish match I'll be able to show you some balanced gear sets because, of course, that's what we've got. You know, there's no cheese, none of that. Just plain skill. Put that there. I'm sure that's right, please. I probably should have helped that one, man. Oh well. YOLO. Is that Preds? Shrapnel? Talent? Eye shot is so bad. Okay, have that. Get down, son. Gonna get him. Cheers. Put that over there. Let's use my lightweight M4. Alright. Get him down. Thank you. Anyone else? Not someone behind us. That's a bad throw. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Little shock turret. Oh, nothing like that comes back. Oh my god. Okay. Damn, I'm in trouble. Get rid of this guy. Get down, son. Someone behind us. I think so. down, son. Stay there, man. I got you. I got you. Luke to the rescue. That's not my real name. I don't know why I said that. Don't go down there, man. There's a turret. Okay. This guy. But this guy, hopefully. Ooh, I nearly dropped that guy in a quick second. Well, there you go, agents. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you like the idea of pre-made gear sets. Of course, leave your comments down below if you wouldn't mind. And hopefully, at the end of the video, you saw some balanced gear sets, which I hope don't come back in the Division 2. With that said, until the next one, Epic out.